born here, born in Oklahoma City, grew up between Oklahoma City and Edmond, and then went to OU. And classic kind of boomerang story. Did a couple internships while I was in college, one in San Antonio, one in St. Louis, and ended up getting a job at a big international PR agency in St. Louis right out of school. And so took me away. But it just wasn't home. Lots of things I loved about St. Louis. It was a great kind of moment in my life. First career, bought my first house there, got married there, all these wonderful kind of firsts you go through as an adult. And but then ready to kind of move on and looking around. And my husband, he's from Houston originally. We had met at OU, and he was like, hey, while you're looking, look back in Oklahoma. He missed it, and I missed it, and that's what brought us back here. We both got jobs and came back.
What did you want to do when you grew up? Like, what kind of drew you to OU?
So I originally was on a totally different path of environmental science, and I had a couple of classes and a teacher in high school. I went to Edmond Memorial for high school, and really just fell in love with science and environmental science in particular. Went to OU and decided very quickly, it was part of the engineering program there at the time, and I did not want to be an engineer. Too much math, too much structure. And so it was just kind of taking some electives to figure out what's next. I've always loved to write, and I took an intro to mass comm class, and just was like, this is so easy. These are all, things that come naturally to me. And so switched over to the journalism and PR path, and still minored in environmental science, but really just kind of fell in love with storytelling and PR and journalism. And my internships were on the PR side, but I was working for environmental clients and healthcare clients. So I kind of got to use that science background and that love, but really more through marketing and simplifying these really complex issues and, trying to simplify communications for healthcare brands, environmental issues, that kind of stuff.
So why the science early on?
I think it was just part of, I'm naturally very curious, and I think there's a lot of different parts of science that kind of feed that. I love being outdoors, and so there's a whole part of biology and nature and the love of outdoors that ties in with that. And so, I had a grandmother that was a science teacher and then a principal, and she would do science experiments with us when she kept us over the summer, so it kind of just came from a lot of different places, I think.
Yeah, that's really cool. A lot of people probably listen to environmental science and think tree hugger straight away, right?
Sure,
which is not what you're doing, but talking about your grandmother, like that, now it makes total sense, right? When you think about it. Do you read a lot when you were a kid?
I did. I read a lot. I wrote a lot. So I would write poetry. I would write, fake little plays and stories. And kind of just a lot of different experiences that fed me inspirationally, I guess.
Brothers and sisters growing up?
Yeah, I'm the middle of two sisters. Okay. So grew up with a house full of women. So my stepdad definitely had to deal with all of that. Yeah. And then now, ironically, we all have boys. So now we're dealing with all boy issues. And I live with all boys, and they're stinky and hormonal in very different ways. So.